Namaste and a very good morning to all of you. I welcome you to my channel, The Outlier. My name is Mithun. In today's video, I'll be talking about how to execute a Pearson chi-square statistic using STATCRAFT. But even before I proceed to demonstrate how Pearson chi-square works in STATCRAFT, my request all of you to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. As you can see in front of your screen, I have got two columns. And in this data set, I have credit rating of an individual. And the second column that I have is income level. Historically speaking, there may be people who are bad credit risk. That is, people who have taken the loan and they have not paid. They have defaulted on the EMI. So we have two categories of people under credit rating, that is good and bad. Similarly, when you look at the variable income, there are three groups: people who belong to the low income class, people who belong to the middle income class, and thirdly, we also have people who belong to the high income class. Now, the problem statement in this example is to find out whether there is a relationship between these two variables or not. I repeat, is there a relationship between income level of the customer and the credit rating of an individual? To find out whether or not there is a relationship between these two variables, we can use what is called as chi-square test. Chi-square test is used when we have two categorical variables. I repeat, when we have two categorical variables, to find the relationship between these two variables, we can go ahead and use chi-square test. How do we execute the chi-square test for these two categorical variables, namely credit rating and income level? To perform the chi-square test of association, the first thing that we need to do is click on the Analyze menu. When we click on the Analyze menu, you can see here STATCRAFT displays different options. I can choose the option which says Compare Groups. Let me click on the drop-down menu. Here you see a big panel and there are a lot of options like t-test, ANOVA, non-parametric test. I will choose the fourth option from the top, which is called as cross-tabulation. Remember, a cross-tabulation comes into picture when you have two categorical variables. Let me click on the cross-tab option. This produces a new dialog box, which is called as the Crosstab dialog box. In the left-hand side, you can see the two variables, namely credit rating and income level. In the right side, I am expected to specify the row factor as well as the column factor. What I will do now is, along the row, I will choose income level. And along the column, I want to see the distribution of credit rating. To find out whether these two variables, namely income and credit rating, are related or they are unrelated, we can go ahead and perform the chi-square test. Let me choose the second option here, which is called as Options tab. You have a lot of options here like expected frequency, row proportion, column proportion, so on and so forth. I will ignore this for this particular video. I will move ahead to what is called as Statistics tab. You can see here there are three different options. First is what is called as chi-square. Second is McNemus test. And the third one is Fisher's test. I will choose the very first option, namely chi-square test. Once you have selected the variable and chosen chi-square test, all that you need to do is click on the option OK. It takes a couple of moments to execute the chi-square test. And you can see here, once I click on OK button, in a span of few seconds, STATCRAFT gives me the output. This is the code, this is the R code which STATCRAFT has used to run the cross-tabulation. And you can see here the first table heading is Crosstab. Along the row, you have the variable income, and along the column, I have the variable credit rating. The variable income is broken down into three groups. Those customers who belong to the high income class, low income class, and then you can see middle income class. You have two groups under credit rating, bad credit risk and good credit risk. Let us first focus on the high income class. What is the total number of people who belong to the high income class? That is indicated as the row total, which is 777. So out of 777 high income class, 687 people are good credit risks. Only 90 of them have been bad credit risks, which means that the majority category is the good credit risk category. Now let me look at 553. This corresponds to the second row total. So there are 553 people who belong to the low income class. Out of these 553, 454 people have been bad credit risks. That is, they have defaulted on the payment of loan. Let's look at the third category, which is the middle income class. In the middle income class, the row total is 1,134. Out of 1,134 middle income class, 658 of them have been good credit risks. 476 of them have been bad credit risks. So out of the three income class, it looks like low income class is the one which captures the majority of bad credit risks. Now, the question is, statistically, is there any relationship between these two variables, that is income and credit rating? What you're seeing is just a simple cross tabulation to examine whether statistically there is a relationship between these two variables. I'll have to scroll down and look at what is called as the Pearson's chi-square test value. Now, this table reports three statistics. The first one is the chi-squared value, which is 662.45, the degrees of freedom, and the last metric is very, very important. This is called as the p-value or the probability value. Look at the value here. It is 1.49 and into 10 to the power of minus 144. 10 to the power of minus 144, which means that it is a really, really small value. It is 0. There are many zeros and then you get a valid number. It is 141. So you have 0.000000, which is clearly less than 0.05. I repeat, 0.000 is less than 0.05. And since the p-value is less than 0.05, I will reject my null hypothesis and conclude that there is a relationship between the two variables, income level and credit rating. Had this number, the p-value being greater than 0.05, you would have concluded that the two variables, income level and credit rating, are independent. But in this case, since the p-value is smaller than 0.05, I have to conclude by saying that there is a relationship between these two variables. With this, I have come to the end of today's video. In today's video, we have seen how to produce the cross tabulation. Also, we have seen how to execute the Pearson's chi-square test and to interpret the p-value from Pearson's chi-square test. I thank you very much for watching today's video. In case you have liked this particular video, I request you to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Thank you very much. Have a great day.